Hi there. I want to welcome you all to my presentation. For all of you out there that can hear my voice, it is a good day indeed. I am going to be talking about something that is very important to all of us. Our future. More specifically, your relationship with energy affecting your future. Now some of you out there might think that energy does not affect you in a way that you should be concerned about or care about it at all. But the reality is this. Energy is what makes your reality what it is today. I ask simple questions. Like, if you have to pay for energy, doesn't that mean that you are working for it? Instead of it working for you, here are the facts. The governments around the world are suppressing technologies that would greatly improve on the living standards for all people around the world. Here I am going to fresh look at the problem at hand. Join me right now and forget everything that you have heard from the news and the politicians and all of the other propaganda out there. We're going to look at just what we know works. Let's begin. Well, we know for certain that we want the energy to be free. Zero price means that everyone has equal access to it with no cost to them. So we have to start off with the free base energy, the sun. Yes, the sun. Now right off the bat some people will say, but the sun is not always there in the sky above, like on a rainy day, so therefore they say that you cannot use it. Here is the thing about that. The sun does not have to always be above you in order to harness its energy, and the great thing about the sun is that it is beaming down somewhere on the planet all of the time. Therefore what is of importance is that the energy be converted and stored for future use. That is one step that we know works for certain. Sunlight being converted and stored. I doubt that you will find anyone that disputes that step. The next step will be on how we make use of that stored up energy to make it available on tap when we need it. You make stored up electricity flow through water and separate the hydrogen out of it. Now right off the bat people will argue that hydrogen is explosive and cannot be easily transported in large quantities. But what they don't tell you is how those features actually work for your benefit. When you think about it, you really don't want huge hydrogen tanker trucks driving on the roads that have come from a huge hydrogen station. Those volumes of hydrogen are indeed dangerous. So instead we are going to produce the hydrogen close to the individual, and only produce small amounts needed for each person. It really would not be much different than how you have a hot water heater in homes that heat up just enough water for your needs. As low the scare tactic used about hydrogen burning people is greatly blown out of proportion. Imagine if we use the same standards and apply it to oil-based products. Could people burn to death in their cars using gasoline? Yes. Absolutely, people have burned to death in their cars using gasoline. Are the 18-wheelers on the highways transporting gasoline essentially moving bombs? Yes. And so we must put things into perspective and see the much bigger picture. Anything could be dangerous when not handled properly. So obviously it is more of issue of having safety standards. And so you might be asking yourself, if there is no downside to any of this, then why has it not been done already? Or why isn't it taking off all over the place? The harsh reality is this. There are some people that do not want you to have this type of technology. They want to dominate and control your life. They want you to use their energy so they can profit off of you. These people are called the government and the energy corporations. You see, the people in the government have created for themselves an artificial world where the rules do not apply to them like it does for those of us not in the government. The bottom line is that the people in government will say and do anything to maintain their control over the people, and they will always try to tell you what the best thing for you to do. The only one that can tell you what is best for you is yourself. And so, next time you hear on the news that we have to give a bank another $100 billion, or that we have to give another car corporation another $100 billion, or the next time that you hear that we need to increase our military budget by another 5%, for our security, I just want you to think back to this video, and I want you to think about how little amount of money they put into these types of solar and hydrogen technologies. And then ask yourself where their priorities are. Thank you for your time.